nombre es Jacobin.
Welcome back, guys, to another What If Sim video games. I'm Jacobin, and yes, I am the third Olsen twin. Today's video is about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I really love this game. I used to play this game a lot when I was a kid, so I wanted to do a what if about it. But before I get into that, let's talk about the gameplay and the history. Tony Hawk was released in 1999. It was developed by Neversoft and published by Activision. A few years before it was released, Activision asked Neversoft to make the Apocalypse game, a third-person shooter. After finishing Apocalypse, Neversoft started development on a prototype skateboarding game. Neversoft used the Bruce Willis model from Apocalypse in the very first prototype gameplay. Neversoft wanted to have a big name skater to be the face of the video game. They took the prototype to Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was so impressed, he signed up for the video game, which was a very good thing. Tony Hawk was quite involved in the development of the game. He helped developers know what would work and what wouldn't. 4 months before the game was released, the Tony Hawk demo disc was released in different demo discs. One for PlayStation Underground and one for Pizza Hut. When I was a kid, I actually had the Pizza Hut demo. I remember being so excited for that demo disc. It had the demo of Tony Hawk, Ape Escape, Crash Team Racing, and Final Fantasy VIII, which I was super excited to play. I really do miss demo disc. I hate the future. The magic is gone. Also, I was so stoked for Tony Hawk. I had just started skateboarding a few years ago before the game came out. I used to daydream all the time about the stuff I wish I could do. Screw reality, now I could do it in a video game. After the success of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, there has been a lot of Tony Hawk games. Some have been very great, and some not so great. I'm looking at you, Right and Shred. The series really hasn't been the same since Tony Hawk Underground. I really hope the new Tony Hawk game will put Tony Hawk back on the map.
It's game time.
Tony Hawk is an arcade-like skateboarding game. You could try to combine tricks to get the big point. You could do grinds, manuals, grabs, flip tricks, and special tricks. In the old Tony Hawk, they had some of my favorite skaters like Jamie Thomas, Eric Costin, Jeff Rowley, and Andrew Reynolds. Sadly, they didn't have Ryan Reynolds. He's so luscious. The object of the game is to complete the goals for each levels. In the very first Tony Hawk games, you only had 2 minutes to complete as many goals as possible. Some of the goals are collecting all the letters for skate, finding the hidden tape, getting all the money, finding items that are scattered all over the map, knocking down boxes or barrels, and getting a certain amount of points. For each goal you complete, you get money, which you can spend to buy new boards, tricks, and stats. The more you build your stats, the faster and higher you can go. The one thing I really liked about the old Tony Hawk games was that once you beat the game with a certain skater, they would show you a clip from their skate video. I didn't have any friends that skateboarded. I only had one skate video and some old Thrasher magazine, so it was really exciting to see those skate videos. I was pretty upset when the new Tony Hawk HD remake didn't have any of these videos, new or old. After Tony Hawk 3, they got rid of the 2-minute goals. They increased the map size and allowed you to freescape around the map. The map had NPCs all over. If you want to progress in the story and get to the next map, you had to complete the NPCs challenges. Some of these challenges were pretty hard. The best Tony Hawk game to do this was Tony Hawk Underground. It had the best story and the best levels. You could also get off your skateboard. Also, when I was younger, I did a combination of tricks that was worth 3 million points. I'm pretty sure some other people have gotten greater scores than that, but that took me forever to do and have never gotten close to that again. If you want a realistic skateboarding game, I would recommend Skate. But if you want a fast pace, then pick Tony Hawk. It's like comparing Madden to Blitz. We just saw the gameplay and the history. Let's talk about the what if. What if Tony Hawk Pro Skater was all a dream and it was due to Tony Hawk being an accident? Skateboarding is a little bit dangerous. What if Tony Hawk had a major accident? In Tony Hawk, Tony can do some incredible skateboarding tricks, which are not humanly possible. Also, you never see any other person in the game. There will be tons of people at Venice Beach. The place is never empty. The only person you do see in the game is a guy driving a golf cart. What if Tony Hawk was skating at the school, and just as he landed a trick, he got hit by a golf cart? Tony is rushed to the hospital and slips into a coma. Waking from his comatose state, he opens his eyes and looks around. He's in a warehouse and he's on his skateboard. He couldn't get off his skateboard. He also hears music in his head. He looks up and sees a timer and it's counting down. He does a kickflip. He noticed the word kickflip came underneath him, and also some numbers showed up next to it. So he does the shove it and the words came up. Again the name came up, but by the name, the numbers kept going up. He realizes that he's getting points for every trick. He also sees letters and other things floating around the warehouse. Then he started hearing beeping. He looks up and the time is running down. The timer ends and he couldn't move his body anymore. His body is pulled up to the ceiling and a list appears before him. The list says he needs to get a certain amount of points, find a hidden tape, and some other things. Then he's warped back to where he first started at the warehouse. He looks up again and sees he has 2 minutes. He decided to complete one of the goals on the list. He started doing a few tricks and they were getting easier and easier. So he hit the ramp to try a 900, but didn't have the strength to do it and fell on the half pipe. He hears his neck break. Then all of a sudden he's back on his skateboard. He doesn't even feel pain. He can do anything now with no fear of getting hurt. So he starts combining his tricks together. He is getting tons of points now. The list comes up and shows he completed all the score challenges. He wonders if he completed all the challenges, if he could go back home. He starts over again, but he feels stronger. He can now ollie higher and go much faster. After a few tries, he completes all the challenges. Then he's warped to another level with new challenges. He was hoping to be sent home, but he shrugs it off. He enjoys it. Every challenge he completes, he's getting stronger and could do more combos. After completing some levels like the mall that he used to go growing up, Venice Beach, which he loved skating at, and Marshall, where he loved to compete. Then he's warped to the school where the accident happened. He skates around the school getting points for the score challenge. And then he sees the golf cart that hit him. The golf cart drives right by him. The driver yells,
"You suck, you jackass!"
then drives off. When Tony Hawk saw that golf cart, the accident came back to him. Tony Hawk is pissed. With the power he has obtained, he waits for the golf cart to come back. He does a kickflip so powerful, it creates a fireball.
Hadouken!
Then everything went dark. After a few seconds, he's able to open his eyes. He's in a bedroom and feels weird. He gets out of bed and walks to the mirror. When he looked into the mirror, he was shocked. He was actually Steve Buscemi! He must have died and gone to hell! Thanks again guys for watching. I really do appreciate this. We're actually going to pick the winner of the giveaway at the end of this week. So if you haven't subscribed, click on Jason Lee's face to be entered for that drawing.